Graduands, guests and colleagues, my name is Mary Howarth and I'm delighted to welcome you all to graduation. I have a few announcements to make before we begin so that you can relax and enjoy the ceremony. Graduands, an easy job to start with. Please check that your seat number matches the number on your ticket because you'll be called to the stage in this order. If you discover that these do not match, our team of stewards can help you to locate the correct seat. At the appropriate time, you'll be invited by the stewards to stand and to make your way to the foot of the stairs, ready to head up the stairs and across the stage. All very straightforward. There are two key things which make for a seamless ceremony. Firstly, as soon as the person ahead of you begins to cross the stage, please make sure you make your way up the stairs. Please don't wait until they've passed across the stage before you reach the top of the stairs. Secondly, don't let excitement and pride overwhelm you so much that you forget to pick up your degree parchment after you've crossed the stage. If you do, don't worry, you have still graduated. But don't try to go back because you will collide with someone coming the other way. Instead, please visit the graduation information desk in the Spring Lane building where you collected your gown 30 minutes after the ceremony to collect your parchment. At graduands, you are asked to raise or doff your cap rather than shake hands with the Chancellor when you're called on stage. And if you are wearing a face covering today, please feel free to temporarily remove it whilst on stage. And please do all pause for a moment on the spot marked X in the centre of the stage for that all-important photo opportunity. At the end of the ceremony, graduates are asked to process out of the hall directed by the stewards. Family and friends, the stewards will show you to the exits once the graduates have left the hall. If the fire alarm should sound at any point, please remain in your seats. Instructions will be given and we'll show you to the nearest exit. Today, our graduating students become alumni of the University of York, and you will join an international community of over 140,000 York alumni in 180 countries. Your alumni association is a vibrant and active global network offering events and services and opportunities that are designed to help you make connections with other alumni across the world and to support your career development. We will be there for you every step of the way as you embark on this next chapter, and you'll shortly receive an email giving further details of the ways in which you can remain connected and involved. Do please follow our alumni social media channels on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and check out the Alumni Association website to keep in touch and learn more about life as a York graduate. As you get your first job or take up further study or training, please remember to keep us in touch with what you're doing. Understanding the career paths that you take will help us to provide the right support for current students and make sure that we continue to offer graduates like you relevant information and opportunities. The music that you will shortly hear as a stage party processes into the hall is receiving its world premiere today. The processional has been composed in honour of Professor Sir Malcolm Grant, our Chancellor, who will retire from his role following our 2022 graduation ceremonies. Both the processional and the recessional were composed by Leonard Sanderman of the Department of Music here at the University of York. We hope that you agree the processional is a bold opening statement to the ceremony. Finally, please remember to join us for your celebratory reception following the ceremony in the Exhibition Centre, where you'll be able to celebrate your achievement with a glass of fizz and a selection of refreshments. And can I now please ask you to mute your mobile phones, and if you're comfortably able, would you now please stand?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this very special graduation ceremony here at the University of York. Please do be seated. So first, by way of introduction, I'm Malcolm Grant. I'm the Chancellor of the University, which is an honorary ceremonial role and one of the most enjoyable roles that you could possibly have. Looking out as I do today on so many happy faces as you come to graduate from the university. Now, nobody ever said to me, I wish the Chancellor's speech had gone on for much longer. So it won't. But just three things I'd like to say to you today. The first is the nature of the ceremony. So in the course of this afternoon, our graduands, as you currently are, our graduands will come up onto the stage and by virtue of the magic of the ceremony will become graduates as you leave over here. I know many of you have prepared beautifully for today. I always admire the way in which many of you dress up and manage to combine the handing of the cap and the shoes at the same time as you pass across here. But there's more to it than that. I want to make it, this is a celebration. Okay, it's a formal ceremony. It's a formal ceremony of conversion of graduand into graduate, but it's also a celebration. We are today conferring a number of PhDs across the whole array of chemistry and physics. We're conferring a number of master's programs, 4-year programs, a number of 3-year programs, bachelor degrees. And it reflects, I think, enormously on the value and the values of the university, that you've come and that your families are here. And I would like, on behalf of the whole university, to welcome those who are attending here today, and also the many people across the world who will be watching a live stream of this congregation, of this ceremony. And so the formal part is the ceremony. But I want then just secondly to turn to the disciplines that you represent here today, of chemistry and physics. I think there's a bit of competition between them as to which would regard itself as the foundational, central, omnipresent, universal discipline. And of course they both are, because I'm the Chancellor and I get a chance to decide. And by the way, I said the same to the biology students this morning, and economics late, maybe not, but anyway. I have to be serious in saying that these are two of the most astonishing disciplines that we can imagine. And the way in which they merge, the way in which they cross over, is demonstrated by the array of titles of the degrees that we will be awarding today. We've got everything from the smallest molecule, the nanoparticle, right through to astrophysics. The images of the Webb telescope are in the minds of all of us at the moment as we conceive of our place in the universe, whilst at the same time understanding that one tiny pathogenic virus can actually cast a black shadow over the whole world. But let me just try to put that a little more into context. The pandemic that has affected the lives of everybody, and particularly of our graduating classes as they've come through the university, started off, as we all recall, in China, with the discovery of some mysterious illness that was causing quite rapid progression through to death of people otherwise previously not affected. But it was the combination of biology, of chemistry, and physics that allowed the world to comprehend what truly was happening. To take one example, when the virus was discovered and it was characterized and its genomic structure was sequenced, so we started to discover what it actually meant. So by sequencing, we took a technology that had been devised in the year 2000, which was when the first whole genome sequencing occurred at the cost of over $1 billion, to something we can now do today at $100 per time. But it's a combination of physics, it's a combination of physics with chemistry, and of course a combination with data and analytics. This has allowed us to understand what is not only the original virus, but each variant that has come through has been sequenced, particularly here in the UK, where we took the lead in creating sequencing of whole genomes only 5 years ago. And I sometimes ask myself, what would it have been like if that virus had come 20 years ago when the first human genome was sequenced? We think that we now understand that the rapid response, allowing the development of vaccines at warp speed, and this, again, is a combination of chemistry, of physics, and of analytics. We think that's probably saved 20 million lives across the world. I would guess that's a gross underestimate. If we'd maybe get those vaccines out to all of the other nations who didn't get the vaccines, then the totality of lives would have been much greater. So my point is this, that foundational disciplines inevitably sit within a silo, but inevitably spill across the silo into other disciplines. You may be a chemist or you may be a physicist, but you are not limited at all in your imagination nor in your intellectual reach. So my third point today is just to ask ourselves, if we look into the future, what does it look like? You would have to say at this moment it looks very bleak. We have an ongoing war in Ukraine. We have the pandemic threatening to return. Marburg virus was discovered 2 days ago in Ghana. We have instances of future variants and of monkeypox. We have the threats of climate change. We have, well, I was going to say we have the politics of the United Kingdom, but that's quite inappropriate, but you get my point. And my message today is actually you are, with your talents and with your expertise and your learning and your knowledge and your wisdom, and particularly your resilience over the past few years, you have in your hands many of the remedies that will allow the world to tackle these otherwise untackleable problems. That's your opportunity, and for the rest of us, we're counting on it. So, I now have great pleasure in declaring this congregation open for the conferment of awards. Thank you.
Professor Caroline Descent will present graduates on behalf of the Department of Chemistry.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biological Chemistry. For research in improving cell labelling with new sortase enzymes, Jenny Hayes. For research in characterization of lysosomal glycoside hydrolases, Rihanna Rowland. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, for research in chemistry of NOx in the remote oceanic atmosphere, Simone Tietstrup Anderson. For research in Trojan horse antibiotics, Connor Black. For research in biogenic SOA formation across Asian megacities, Daniel Bryant. For research in drought resistance in archaeological maize, Isabella Gaffney. For research in chemical shift tensors as probe in MC bonding, Christopher Galt. For research in development of an anti-E. coli therapeutic, Natasha Hatton. for research in structural study of Nipah virus nucleocapsid, Dezheng Care. For research in porosity engineering of Starbon materials, Han Li. For research in ozone deposition to the sea surface, David Loads. For research in application of green chemistry in organic synthesis, Edward Monteith. For research in green solvents in catalysis and energy storage, Luis Mauricio Murillo Herrera. For research in the chemistry of ozone production in Delhi, India, Beth Nelson. For research in supramolecular hydrogels for drug delivery, Anna Patterson. For research in bioorthogonal catalysts for antibiotic activation, James Southwell. For research in activation of alkynes via cumulene intermediates, Rachel Steen. For research in synthesis of small molecule models of LPMOs, Martin Stewart. For research in illuminating sunscreens via UV laser dissociation, Natalie Wong. For research in air quality impacts of volatile organic compounds, Amber Yearman. For the degree of Master of Science by Research in Chemistry, Charles Biddlecombe. James Connell. William Glover Humphreys. Hannah Smith. Benedict Thompson. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Catherine Ailes. Matteo Albino. Oliver Andrew. Will Aris. Alexander Asham. Lauren Austin. Katie Balmer. Charlotte Blacker. William Butler. Matteo Caratura. Thomas Cornell. Emma Drew. Max Dulson. Bethany Hardman. Thomas Hartsholm. Andrew Harvey. Isabel Hare. Erin May Holdsworth. Usman Iqbal. May James. Matthew Jones. George Lewis. Lauren Leyland. Max Lyons. Connor MacDonald. Harry Meakin. George Metcalf. Robert Munday. Adam Richardson. Tom Riley. Madeleine Robertson. Harry Rostron. Alexander Scoville. Emily Shaw. Imogen Squire. Eleanor Sykes. Matthew Telford. Eve Tipple. Eleanor Trudinger Charnley. Oscar Van Vuren. Daniel Veltman. Sarah Walberton. Jake Walder. Henry Warrington. Stephen White. Benedict Williams. Caris Williams. Jordan Wilson. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry with a year abroad, Alex Bentley. Vanessa Bond. Natasha Breen. Sarah Hagen. Reese Lister Roberts. Lara Oxbury Taylor. Phoebe Petherick. Danishta Ratner. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry with a year in Industry, Evelyn Banton. Stephanie Batten. Kaylin Bonella. Lizzie Bull. Thomas Carton. Hannah Chapman. Oliver Colbert. Jessica Dale.
Student ensemble Eonomy will perform Don't Stop Believing by Journey and arranged by Owen Butcher.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took a midnight train going anywhere.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. Took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting. Up and down the boulevard, there's shadows searching in the night. Street light, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill, paying anything to roll the dice. Just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. No, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting. Up and down the boulevard, there's shadows searching in the night. Street light, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light, people. Don't stop. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, with year in Industry, Jordan Dalpuri.
Harry Francis. Katie Hardman. Celia Johnson. James Jones. Charles Kingston. Jasmine Locke.
Ellis London, Anna Mukai, Jennifer McLaughlin, Brandon Moy, Alexandra Muriel, Katie Oak, Michael O'Sullivan, Alice Page, Will Parker, Ewan Pavard, William Pendergast, Bradley Reed, Jacob Roberts, Adam Scott, Alfie Woodhouse. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Biological and Medicinal Chemistry, Ellis Bryden. Nia Ivanova Zimbova. Luke Julian. Rachel Napier. Will Orokatan. Tom Phillips. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Biological and Medicinal Chemistry with a year abroad, Catherine Ellis. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Biological and Medicinal Chemistry with a year in Industry, Jamie Bond. Lucy Bridgewater. Liam Collins. Imogen Godsmark Ford. Rebecca Midgley. Deanna Stamp. Kira Stocks. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Green Principles and Sustainable Processes, Joss Farker. Ella Reid. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Green Principles and Sustainable Processes with a year in Industry, Francis Power. Rachel Shuker. Dean Stimson. Giancarlo Sugabo. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, the Atmosphere and the Environment, Thomas Luke. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, the Atmosphere and the Environment with a year abroad, Charlotte Stapleton. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, the Atmosphere and the Environment with a year in Industry, Sarah Channell. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Selina Ashley. Ebony Makeda, Aima Jeffrey. Katie Baker. Charlotte Boyd. Jodie Brown, Edward Buck, Laurie Ford, Adam Gerard, James Gompels, Adam Horsepool, Luke Hulahan, Etliva Lucia, James McKay, Richard Moore, Hohiman Sanung, Morgan Prince, Joseph Ruffley, Bethany Ann Slim, Crystal Yu. Oh no, that's not right. I do apologise, yes. Daisy Whitburn. Crystal Yu. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Biological and Medicinal Chemistry, Callum Filch. Maxine Lynn. Bethany Line. Owen Merriman. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, the Atmosphere and the Environment, Jack Baum. Ellie Saxby. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Erin Kuhlman.
Professor Kieran Gibson will present graduates on behalf of the Department of Physics.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates. For the degree of Science in Mathematics and Physics, Eleanor Bentley. Maya Jovanovic. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physics, for research in optical metrology for quantum communications, Sophie Albosch. For research in deciphering the mechanism of DNA nanomachines, Nettie Borrell. For research in Full-Heusler CFS films for spintronic applications, Irena Asatia. For research in phase probing of photonic crystal resonances, Isabel Barth. For research in low-temperature plasma diagnostics for industry, Martin Blake. For research in multi-harmonic ion heating for plasma propulsion, Scott Doyle. For research in examinations using scanning thermal microscopy, James Lees. For research in high-energy X-ray creation when lasers hit targets, Stuart Morris. For research in isospin symmetry with nucleon knockout reactions, Rehab Vazje. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Plasma Science and Fusion Energy, for research in molecular dynamic studies of dynamic melting, Caroline Lumsden. For research in searching for smooth flow in turbulent plasma, Andrew Malcolm Neal. For research in Super X diverter plasma detachment in mass upgrade, Omkar Miyatra. For research in improving indirect drive for inertial confinement, Joseph Owen. For the degree of Master of Science in Fusion Energy, Ramkrishnan Sharma. For the degree of Master of Physics in Physics, Thomas Aston. Hugh Badger. Charles Blades. Talia Blaine. Caleb Bolton. George Bromley. Kate Brown. Thomas Butcher. Callum Clipston. Carenza Cronshaw. Anton de Groot van Emden. Catherine Flisher. Cameron Frampton. Ethan Friel. Roman Guillaume. Sorry about that. Lewis Gaffing. Jeremy Grabas. Will Graham. Nathan Jones. Frederick Loxton. John Neely. Jack Pearce. Thomas Petchell. Deanna Radley Moore. Benedict Robinson. Benjamin Savage. Henry Smith. Joseph Todd. James Waller. For the degree of Master of Physics in Physics with a year in industry, Elwyn Williams. For the degree of Master in Physics with Astrophysics, Joe Alcock. Simon Blackshaw. Joshua Cameron. Lauren Ely. Abigail Forbes. Thomas Hipgrave. Joseph Hurst. Katie Hollins. Caleb Hopkins. Fidessa Isiko. Maya Jones. Charlotte Osmond. Natasha Taylor. Maya Tekchandani. Owen Thompson. Georgia Whittaker. For the degree of Master of Physics in Physics with Astrophysics with a year in industry, Catherine Laws. Alexander Rogers. Daniel Westwood. For the degree of Master of Physics in Physics with Philosophy, Hazel Davis. Stephen Dunnigan. Victoria Cantande. For the degree of Master of Physics in Theoretical Physics, Daniel Bennett. Jennifer Cardwell. Carlos Coelho. Saeed Darzi. James Smith. For the degree of Master of Physics in Theoretical Physics, Robin Smith. Brandon Tipper. For the degree of Master in Physics in Theoretical Physics with a year in industry, Nicola Farmer. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physics, Samuel Bailey. Lucas Barker. David Barraclough. Harvey Berrington. Kieran Buttle. Jessica Clegg. Louis Desforges. Taron Ford. Joseph Finian Gartland. Kieran Gala. Sarah Henderson. Long Yin Ho. Aurelia Leconzo. Ryan Lewis. Isaac McGee. Michael Luke Oxley. Stephen Routledge. Mateus Roberto Sanchez Wilson. Douglas Shaw. Philip Sumkowski. Alex Towles. Callum Tuff. Jack Weston. Michael Wickramasinghe. James Wilkinson. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physics with a year in industry, Joseph Weir. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physics with Astrophysics, Jahid Ahmed. Kieran Bates. Kalisa Bolhassan. Adam Bonsall. Toby Bowcock. James Bowler. Alexander Champion. Robbie Chattel. Robert Dayton. Harry Flaherty. Lene Hamilton. Joshua Harrison. Berenice Laurent. Daniel Lloyd. Cameron Mitchell. Thomas Overd. Daniel Peterson. Leah Poynton. Thomas Zazzaroni. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Theoretical Physics, Mariana Barcenas. Joe Brotherton. Bevan Richard Collins. Aya Galeb. Connor Grice. Thomas Kent. Cameron Page. Joshua Peacham. Adam Chettle. Akira Digwell. Daniel Kitson. David Lawrence. Natsuko Noguchi. And Thomas Turner.
It is my enormous pleasure to introduce Edliva Lusa, our student orator who will speak on behalf of the class of 2022. Our student orators have been invited to speak in recognition of their hard work on behalf of the student community and commitment to their studies. Our speakers have both pursued the most enriching experience they could during their time at York, as well as giving back to their community. On behalf of the class of 2022, I give you et lieve loser.
Hello everyone. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome my fellow graduates, our families and friends, and our distinguished guests today. The University of York's motto is In Limine Sapientiae, which translated from Latin means on the threshold of wisdom, or the knowledge is inside, but you must walk through the door in order to gain access to it. One interpretation of this could be to say that all knowledge and learning available at this institution can only bring us to the threshold of wisdom and invite us to navigate it ourselves and become truly wise. However, for many of us, this threshold was not an easy one to reach. Many of us faced adversity. Perhaps, like myself, you were part of an underrepresented group in higher education, believing university was not for people like us. Perhaps also like myself, you experienced imposter syndrome, doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud amongst your cohort. I was crippled by my lack of self-belief and contemplated dropping out numerous times. Additionally, we were hit with a once-in-a-generation pandemic where we were separated from our loved ones, making the already daunting experience of going to university much more formidable. I would like to take this moment to thank my family and friends who stuck by me through the trials and tribulations during my 3 years at York. I would also like to thank the donors to the several scholarships that I was fortunate enough to receive. To Roy Fenton, the Holbeck Charitable Trust, the benefactors of the Chemistry Admission Scholarship, and the university's alumni who donate to the York Future Scholarship. Your generous support allowed me to make the most of my university life and made my time at York nothing short of extraordinary. I dedicate my first class to you all. As a Russell Group University, I am sure that York's meaning behind its motto was an academic one. We as scientists have had the honour to be taught by and work alongside professors and lecturers at the forefront of our academic fields. However, I've gained a great deal of wisdom outside of my chemistry degree, namely about myself. I've learned that I am not a morning person, I can make a mean stir-fry, and that I should not be left in labs unattended. Jokes aside, I've learnt about myself, my passions, my work ethic, my resilience, my motivations, among many other things. As graduates, many of you may believe that we are about to cross this threshold of wisdom. In truth, our learning will never stop. We will continue to gain wisdom about ourselves, our future careers, and about life. We will always be in limine sapientiae, even when our time at York is over. Congratulations, class of 2022, and thank you very much for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes I will close this congregation. But before I do, a few words of thanks to E-Anonymy, the group who sang to us so beautifully before and showed off the acoustics of Central Hall to the greatest effect. Physicists amongst you will understand what that means, but to me it's purely an emotional thing to listen to such beauty being sung in front of us. At Lever, I would just like to congratulate. That's no mean feat to stand up here and to speak so beautifully and so fluently. At Lever, thank you so much for doing that. And then I'm going to turn to the groups of people who have made it possible for all our graduates to be here today. High amongst that, on that list, the staff of the University of York. This is, by the way, a very special university. And amongst our colleagues, academic and support staff, etc., are many who have suffered quite seriously through the pandemic, as many of you have. But without their support and their constancy and keeping the organisation moving, we wouldn't be here today. I hope that you would join with me in thanking all of our academic staff, not only those here, but across the whole campus. And then the second group of people, and it's obvious really, the others without whose help you wouldn't be here, are friends and families and supporters, many of whom are here today. I think they deserve the loudest round of applause we can possibly manage, don't you? And then finally, it's you lot. It really is. It's you, the graduates. And you know, as I stand up here and I listen to some of the titles of those PhDs, none of which I understood, but I listened to them, but also the masters and the bachelor's degrees, you are the physicists and the chemists of the future, and everything I said at the outset has been confirmed by everything I've heard in the citations that we've had today. We are very lucky to have you and to have the future, our future, in your hands. I'm going to ask everybody, please, to applaud the class of 2022, our graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, I declare this congregation closed. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Please stand for the academic procession.